in it first? Do you want to get the... Should I get that? Oh, just... Oh, I don't have enough makeup on at all. My eyes are like half closed. Woo. God is advising me to install a deportation to the enemy in Los Angeles and Hollywood against my throne. Good news and true story, because I'm right here all the way in belief that Jesus has power in this world and he's got believers. And can I say that if they do not honor the real Jesus, the real living Jesus, they'll always be worshiping just a past man of death, and they won't honor him as alive. So how can a dead man save you? Only by faith is what I believe. Miss Kathleen Forsovich preaches the good news. So it is only to your benefit, all of you in California and around the world, that you should buy yourself one of my Kingdom of Heaven shares if you want to be safe and in good standings with me. You owe God. You owe yourself. Think about your entitlement and your future. I have all this extra makeup on because I like being creative, but I was trying to put light makeup on, and you know how powder is. You know how eyeshadow can be. It can break off and fall out, and especially if your case is cracked, which I have a really old cracked case of 4 colors of this whatchamacallit, eyeshadow. So anyway, to keep on proving my point with God's Kingdom of Heaven, you personally owe. Don't laugh. Don't take it as a joke, because that's the one thing. Even Jimi Hendrix, one of his songs about the devil and the men who took life as a joke and played evil against all themselves a lot. And man, I'll tell you, the suffering of Jesus, I look at my poor old face, aging every day, and the way I look in my features, my nose, and the way I look, it's so much like the beautiful Jesus, who is so kind and passionate. And I grew up knowing that he was not a man, the Bible said, not a man with very good looks. People didn't really respect his looks, and yet look how they painted him all of those years. So that may be the false prophetic fact about Jesus. The churches are all professing falsely against, and I am the real living Jesus, named also Kathleen Forsovich. How could a woman be luckier? Only Queen Elizabeth would know that. Man, I tell you, it's just exciting being who I am, and every time I affirm what I have with God and what man owes God and myself, I always feel wealthier and happier. It's so warm in here. Beautiful that I have a fan. Thank you, fan makers. Thank you to all the tradespeople who create the things that I can't. But of course, the same goes back to you. You should be thanking God for me as a return of his flesh and of his goodwill and of his kind heart and of his intelligence, that I would bring you the Kingdom of Heaven with him. And you should be honored. You should be blessed. You should be shocked. And you should say, look, my goodness, your prices are really good. But for those in Hollywood and the surrounding areas of the greater, I was going to say GTA, meaning Greater Toronto, but I'm speaking GHA, the GHA the greater Hollywood area, the greater LA area. Don't just take this as an act. Like all of you fakes out there in Hollywood, who many of you have been paid way too much, especially the really rich corporations that put out for the non-prophecy, the non-profits that which they gain all to their own ownership, their own name, and they blaspheme lower graded people, lower paid people. They push them around like a bully, like a mean satanic warrior who is so greed filled that has to destroy everybody else's lifestyle just to make one of his own. It's a shame, it's a sadness, it's a truth across the world. And that's why I'm here. That's why God has sent me to change things, to set those men back in the ways of, you'll have to learn your lesson. You are not admitting to your faults and your sin and your evil, and you're not able to change on your own. So God is here doing it for you. You may not have anywhere else to sign. There's no other government but an upgrade to my kingdom of heaven. And if you don't, it'll always remain the same and maybe even get worse. Because who are we to judge God in the sense of we are only man and have the IQ level that we have gained throughout the years in practice of the type of lifestyle we keep and how we do unto others? If you were the Almighty, if you were Jesus Christ, if you were me dictating that there should be a one throne of worship to the Almighty God, to the God who created things that men can't, you would be saying, give up what you can to him as he asks. And such a small amount of money to rule the world with him. What an honor, what a privilege, what a responsibility that you should have. What an opportunity for you. Take up on it. Don't just blaspheme and put sin to your own flesh and your own will to take home with you. You are making a big mistake, is what I'm saying, in advice of Kathleen Forsovich to you and every person across the world. So I'm used to being poor as a lifestyle forever since I was a small child. So I'm able to handle this enough respectfully so that you think that, well, she's not cutting my throat, so big deal. Like, that's the enemy for you. That's the careless, evil man who have always blasphemed God and treated him like no matter what. Like, no matter. It's not his government. Who does he think he is? So overall, what I'm saying is the point of the revelations is basically definitely come to pass for quite some time now. And people are taking it too lightly. I'm just warning you. You will lose your entitlement because you're not signing to pay for it. Nobody else is offering you. Not even the pastors and real long-term believers of Jesus and God. It's me. It's a lowly woman that God has blessed. Why? Because I have the heart. I have the decency. I've always given up so that someday I will be blessed in receiving. But still, the evil men do not believe. Still, the evil men are trying to take from me. Don't join their team for good. Break from them while you have a chance. Break from them while you can understand what is a better method of becoming a decent lifestyle, a decent person, following God, following the plans of the Bible, the commandments which they have broken a long time ago, and they're still trying to get you to keep those commandments broken. And they don't want you to join in with the new covenant. They don't want you to be saved. Like I said before, the lotto gamblers, they want you to go down with them. They don't want to be alone in the suffering, in the shame, in the fact that I can't see any other way. They're not helping me. They're not helping me say, God, look at these believers. Look how they pay you. Look how they love you. Look how they honor you. Look how they respect you. as a decent ruler. They're not doing that. No, definitely not. So I'm saying that's why I probably have to say the fair one is that they do the thousands of years of poor time because they're forcing me to endure this way. That's the beauty of God's plan. So that's what you're signed to, and so you keep adding that up for yourself and keep being a poor man with the enemy, and you'll never enter God's kingdom of gates because you're not holy enough, you're not honorable enough, you're not faithful enough, you're not workable enough, you're not working with God, you're against Him in blaspheme with His biggest enemies. And these are the satanic warriors that have always been running the world government, causing the civil wars, causing the famines, causing the corruption, causing the theft, causing the misery, causing the accidents, the fatalities, the calamities. You're assigned to that man, that evil man. And I'm telling you how you can relieve yourself, how you can get set free. You should honor God. You should break from the enemy. You should not be supporting the enemy, paying these men to run the world, and then just on purposely not honoring God and myself. On purpose, you're doing this. You're being that type of an example across the world. So that's how you personally can stand up against the enemy with me, like I am a one person against the whole world. Everything is coming true, isn't it, guys? I'm proving to be the real Jesus in standing alone against all of the people of the world, by whom are just men, and especially that they are not signed and faithfully have accepted and paid for their salvation. So I'm over 12 minutes with this video dictating to you what you can do to change your lifestyle with God and myself. You can become a real believer in Jesus, the living Jesus, and you can save your own life with me and become wealthy in a respectful, honorable, and real way, the one which is God's kingdom of heaven and eternal rhapsody. So overall, it's up to you. Contact me, comment, and use my phone number, use my email address, send me a message. You'll be doing the right thing. If you can't hear me, I'm sorry, then it's too late. Then you will not have a chance to enter God's kingdom of heaven. But if you can hear my voice and understand what I'm claiming for you, then you should be on my side. If I'm knocking and you're not answering, then I can't save you. You have to take that will and that initiative on your own, because I can't sign your name for you. You'll have to do that work. Very easy, and a very light payment for you to start at $65, and you'll have a chance to sell these beautiful memberships across the universe with God and myself. Jesus Christ returned with God's kingdom of beautiful heaven, also known as Prissy Incorporated, managed and owned by Miss Kathleen Forsovich, by which I am shaking your hand. If you come unto me, I will give you rest, through Jesus Christ my Lord and my Father, in His kingdom of heaven.